Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Midwest Family Outdoor Adventures. On this week's episode, Grandpa Denny's going to take us through the process of building a wood duck house, and then Gabby and Liv, who you guys have seen on previous episodes, are going to show us how it's done to get put together and install it. Building wood duck houses, as Grandpa Denny will explain later in the video, is a great way to ensure that we have good numbers of wood ducks for future generations of hunters, and it's just great to help be part of the conservation process as well. I'll include in the video description below a detailed list of all the items needed. Grandpa Denny's going to go over those in the video, but I'll make sure the list of items needed is included. Come along on the journey as Grandpa Denny shows us how it's done. Boom!
We just got done ice fishing here about a week ago, so now we got extra time on our hands. So I thought I'd do a few projects. One of the projects we're going to work on is building some wood duck houses. It's something that I've done with my kids and our 4-H clubs through the years. We've made many wood duck houses, hung them around the lake and on creeks and by wetlands. It's something any of us can do. They're not hard to build. They really do help a lot with the wood duck population. It gives the wood ducks, the hens, a safe place to nest, less likely to get raided by a predator. And over the years, it's made a big difference in the wood duck population. Something we can do locally. You can do it in your yard if you live near water. If you don't live near water, in a park, in a wildlife production area, a DNR area, anything like that, if you don't have a location on your own land to place them. What I'm going to do is just show you the pieces that I have cut out. I'm going to have my grandson help me assemble this tomorrow, and he's 5 years old, so he's not old enough to safely operate a saw yet, so I thought I'll get him cut out, but I'll let him help me assemble them, and then when his sister's off from school, we'll hang them up in a tree by their house. They have a wetland behind their house, so we'll put one up there so they can watch through the years as the wood ducks use it. I'll show you what we got. We basically, I usually use cedar, but I was able to get some free lumber somebody had thrown out, so I thought I'm gonna just use some of this pine. Being that it's free, I'll recycle it. It won't last as long as a cedar, but it'll last 10 years, and you probably have to do repairs. We have some cedar ones still out there that we're using. I've had to repair them a little bit, but they're over 20 years old. So what I have here are the two sides. The front, where we drilled a hole, the entrance hole for them. It's a 4x3 entrance hole. The back, which I pre-drilled where the leg bolts will go through into the tree, the top and the bottom. So pretty simple. And these are the tools you need. You need a jigsaw just to cut out the entrance hole. A torque, any kind of, you could use a screw gun or anything to put the screws in. I use this. You need a drill to just drill the holes for where the leg bolts will go, pre-drill, and then a circle saw, for cutting it out. So nothing elaborate on the tools you need. You need some 2-inch screws and a couple leg bolts for assembly. And then I also have cedar shavings or wood shavings that you can get at your farm store. You need that to put in the bottom of the wood duck house so that the nest can be placed in that shavings. The hen can make her nest in there. You only put about 3-4 inches in the bottom, not a lot. But every year we do try to go through and clean them out and then put new wood shavings in them. That's something you can do over the years. Do it in late February, early March is a good time to get it done. The wood ducks will be coming back soon. As soon as the water opens up, we start seeing them. I haven't seen them yet, but we're going to get these wood duck houses up. And so they're here and ready for the wood ducks when they get back. I just wanted to show you, you can get the designs on how to build them, the dimensions This book is one I've had for probably 30 years. It's Woodworking for Wildlife through the Minnesota DNR. It was written by or put together by Carol Henderson. And I looked online, you can still get them. You can still get a version of this, a nicer version actually. But it's got the wood duck houses that we're working on. You get all the dimensions in there. Tells you exactly how to build them. Mergansers, some other ducks will use these. We've had wood ducks and mergansers use them in our area. But it's also got, this book has a lot of other designs for building bird houses. I've built probably 3-4 different bird houses out of this for hanging in our yard. So it's a good book to have around if you're gonna work with kids, especially building some of these. There's pretty simple projects and teaches kids, about helping wildlife, but also how to build things out of wood. We will come back with Gavin and Livy, and we'll show you the rest of the project. Yep, that's what we're gonna do, honey. I'm gonna have.
Is that the front of it, Gav?
Yep.
That's where the wood duck flies into it, right? Yep.
That's it, honey.
Is that the top and the bottom?
This has to go on the inside of this, because then when the little ducks hatch, they can grab on this and crawl out. There's a hole to get out.
Oh.
Yep.
I was nosy.
Because when they hatch, they only stay in the box for one day, and then they climb out. So when we'll put that on the front, but we got to finish screwing the back on. This is the back. Okay, now we got to make it so it goes forward. So you push on this side, push it all the way in. That button.
I know.
There you go. Perfect. There, perfect. Ooh,
There,
good.
you got it.
Ah, you got it, girl. Okay, keep going. Oh, perfect. When it makes that noise and goes in that deep, that's how far we need it. There we go. Now we got to put a front on it. Let's see. We got to get this lined up, and then we'll put some screws in there. Perfect. Perfect. Good job. Good. Man, you're getting good at this. Look at that. I think we got a little carpenter here. There. Above it. There you go.
Every move I make you, yeah.
You remember how much we put in there? Put about like 3 or 4 inches. This is all it is. Feel down in there, you can kind of feel with your fingers how much it is, but you can still get to the bottom, right? Put one more. See, this is the top. See how it's hanging way over? That'll keep the rain from going. It'll keep the rain from going in there. But also, if a raccoon or a cat gets up on top of here, he has a hard time reaching around to that hole. So it makes it difficult for a predator to get at the hen. And their little ones will hatch and they'll crawl out and they'll jump in the water over there. And that's where they'll live until they get big enough to fly. Up. There you go. Is that one repairable? No. Why don't we just take that one down and put this one there? See this screw you were asking about? Remember you were worried it was going to poke the duck? See, we're going to put it through this hole right here into the tree. So it won't go inside the box, it'll go into the tree. Does that make sense? Right over here.
Here are the 2 wood ducks that are flying over there.
Ah, look at the wood
Oh,
duck
yeah.
over there.
Right there.
Hopefully that hen's looking at this wood duck house. This is a perfect spot. It's right. Those little ducks can jump out and they'll be right in the water. Perfect. And lay the eggs.
Yeah, but how will the ducks get up there again?
They won't. Once they hatch, they only live in there for like a day. And then they climb up that little ladder and then they jump out and go in the water. The eggs are in there for like probably 4 weeks.
They get eaten.
The little ducks.
Yeah.
They'll actually go over in that where those cattails are and they'll hide in there. So they got a pretty good. If they make it into the water and swim over there, they got a pretty good chance.
Wait, what about those baby ducks?
The baby ducks will grow up to be adult ducks or mature ducks, and they'll be able to fly south by wintertime. That's how fast they grow. Look at that.
There it's up.
Bringing it up, Dave. He's trimming those branches so it's easier for the hen to fly in and out of there.
Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Midwest Family Outdoor Adventures. It was so fun watching Grandpa Denny, Gabby, Liv, and Tates put the wood duck house together and get it hung up just in time for the wood ducks to start laying their eggs. If you guys like what you saw today and enjoyed the episode, please help us out by hitting the like and subscribe button, also the little bell notification so that you're made aware when new content is available. As always, some day isn't a day of the week, so make sure you get outdoors today.